It's time for the CBS News Minnesota Tuesday morning update. I'm Jason DeRusha. Glad to have you with us today. Is Riley out of the studio? Did Riley leave? So remember yesterday when I said Riley was being a coward by only putting a 99 up on the board? And we knew it was going to be 100. What was the temperature? What was the temperature yesterday? 101. All right, let's see what we can do with today's forecast. Riley's high for today is 90. So I think he learned his lesson, right? Like, we're not just going to put 89 on the board. I love a round number. I love a big number for a forecast. Is there any science in my approach? No. Was I right yesterday? Yes. Can a blind squirrel find a nut every once in a while? Also, yes. Going to be hot today, less hot than yesterday. We made the next weather tower blue, which I find hilarious. It's going to be 90 degrees today, and we have the weather tower blue. But, you know, that's what you do when you decide that this thing's a relative measure. People will be looking downtown like, blue? I'm sweating my... Well, you know what you sweat. Let's talk about the first day of summer. Today is the first day, the solstice. The solstice, I love a solstice. I love the summer solstice, longest day of the year. It is the day my first child was born, Seth, on this date in 2005. Oof. Longest day of the year for my wife, for sure. Sitting in the hospital waiting to give birth. Heather Brown's birthday today. And Heather is 29 years old, so make sure you go to the WCCO This Morning Facebook page and wish her a happy birthday. We did learn that a big 4th of July weekend celebration is done, not happening. What happened to fireworks? St. Paul stopped doing their fireworks. They cheaped out, didn't want to spend the money. And, you know, it's these mayors can say, like, oh, well, we're going to reallocate those to other resources. Like, come on. Minneapolis canceled theirs. Red, white, and boom, done. They say staff shortages is part of it. Construction at Father Hennepin Park, they're blaming that. I don't know what this means, but they're telling us the city will be holding smaller celebrations throughout the day at Lake Harriet, Lake Nokomis, Victory Park, and Logan Park. So you could have giant fireworks that electrify the community, or we'll see you at Lake Harriet. Aquatennial still happening. It's later in July. New this morning, we learned a little bit more about the lineup of events. Aquatennial starts July 20th with the Torchlight Parade. Those fireworks are happening on July 23rd. There'll be about 24 free events in between, including, we love the river rats. Remember when Katie Steiner got on like the pyramid with the river rats? That's good stuff. Yeah, pop-up markets. So anyway, we're talking about some summer events. Today's the first day of summer. What summer event are you most looking forward to? That's what we want to hear. What is your quintessential summer event? What throws you back to your youth? What are you looking forward to this summer in particular? All of that fair game. So leave your comments here on Facebook, and we'll read some of your stuff in just a minute. Triple-digit temperatures yesterday, 101, not so kind to some drivers. Emily, who is a big fan of the CBS News Morning Update, sent us this photo. This is her back windshield, and it just separated. It shattered. It sort of exploded from inside. And so we took these pictures to a glass repair expert and said, what the heck is happening here? And they say pressure builds up, the heat builds up, and they have a little advice as to what you can do to try to prevent this from happening.
If you're parking in a hot garage, underground garage, outside, crack the windows, let some air get in there, keep the pressure open, and really just try not to seal it up. That's what your main point would be.
You know, the roads have the same sort of thing happening. I heard a couple of reports yesterday of some roadways buckling. MnDOT posting these pictures. Chris, do we know if these were these buckles that happened yesterday, or was this just from MnDOT's greatest hits of roads that buckled? We don't know. I'm going to guess greatest hits. If you see the road, and there were buckles yesterday. I heard it in the afternoon traffic report. When I was driving around, they said, you know, if you see it, call 911. Don't hesitate. because it should be treated as an emergency. Somebody could get seriously hurt driving over that. Craziness going on as far as what the trial date's going to be for these now former Minneapolis police officers charged with their role in the killing of George Floyd. So remember, the judge not too long ago said Tutau and J. Alexander King, their trial's going to be delayed because they want to leave more time, make sure the jury isn't biased, and so they were going to postpone that trial until January. That's what Judge Peter Cahill did. Well, the state says, you know what, George Floyd's family has been through enough. Can we move this along? So they asked for a speedy trial, and that would be mid-August. But then King's defense attorney is like, my calendar's full. Like, I can't go in mid-August. In fact, I can't go until April of 2023 because of a scheduling conflict. Oh, gosh, can you imagine? Sorry, I'm booked till April 2023. If I'm the judge, I'm like, you know what? Cancel some stuff, bubs. Like, that is ridiculous. So the trial will be sometime either in 2 months or a year. It's ridiculous. Part of this delay, let's be honest about this, Tutau and J. Alexander King are free right now. They have already been convicted of federal civil rights crimes for violating George Floyd's civil rights, and they haven't been sentenced because the federal judge was waiting for the state trial to happen. All of it's kind of weird, isn't it? Don't you want to just serve your sentence if you're these two? So we'll be at today's hearing and update you with whatever decision they make about the trial date. We're going to be watching this closely today, that House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack. They will hold its fourth hearing today. And aides are saying this is going to focus on former President Donald Trump's attempts to pressure state election officials in Georgia and Arizona specifically to overturn the election. One witness is Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. And you heard this phone call. Trump asked Raffensperger to find 11,780 votes to flip the results. Now, was he literally asking for that, or was he? So that'll be interesting in the hearing today. Infants and preschoolers are starting to get COVID shots. CBS and Walgreens plan on giving those shots out today. If you're squeamish about vaccine video, don't look. Don't look. Look at this poor kid. Oh, ouch. Here's another kid. This kid's tough. Yeah, give me that Band-Aid. This kid is like, look at the light. So kids as young as 18 months can get the shot at CVS. Walgreens is like, no, we're not taking the toddlers. We'll do 3 and up. Vaccination site run by the state at Mall of America is taking appointments for kids right now. So you can go to Mall of America and get your kid vaccinated. Of course, your own pediatrician and all of that will be options too. Some minor signs of hope when it comes to the price of gasoline. No major signs of hope, though. Minnesota's average for unleaded did drop a penny overnight to $4.73, according to AAA. As always, we show you these prices, so if you see below $4.73, you think like, I'm doing okay. Last week's record was $4.76 here in Minnesota. National average, let's show you that. It's back below $5. Experts say the price of crude oil did drop. We're out of the Memorial Day holiday, so demand for gasoline has dipped slightly. President Joe Biden is getting his butt kicked in the polls because people are freaking out because of inflation and gas prices. And so the president is saying, he's looking at making a decision by the end of the week on whether he will push lawmakers to suspend the federal gas tax, so that'd be a gas tax holiday. The 18 cents of every gallon is a federal gas tax. Legendary novel coming to life for the first time on a Minneapolis stage. Jane Austen's 1815 novel Emma is making its debut as a play at the Guthrie Theater. The book is based on a woman who was a bit of a novelty in her time. She was highly educated, witty, a matchmaker. New York Times Playwright of the Year Kate Hamill sat down with our Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, talk about the world premiere of this play.
Why have the world premiere in Minneapolis at the Guthrie?
Well, one of the things I really love about the Guthrie and about Minneapolis is how engaged audiences are. I mean, the loyalty people have to this place and the memories people have in this place and how emotionally involved they are in the theater here. Minneapolis is a great theater town. I've had a couple of shows here and I always just find audiences are very energized and engaged.
Hamill says his play is loyal to the original, but also adapted to modern times with some of the costumes and clothing and pop music. She calls it a screwball comedy and says you can bring people of any age to this show. Emma debuts Friday and it'll run most of the summer through August 21st. $26 is what tickets start at. No bad seats in the Guthrie. NBA draft is just 2 days away. I always watch the draft for the fashion. I love to see the drip, if you will, that the kids are wearing, because this is the greatest moment of their life, the dream to be a professional ball player. And there's a Minnesota basketball player expected to be a top 5 pick. Some are saying Chet Holmgren could go #1. We talked to him ahead of the monumental day.
It's definitely crazy coming into this week. I think every little kid imagines it. But to actually be here and now be sitting in New York City a few days away from the draft is definitely a blessing.
Holmgren was a one and done at Gonzaga. He won 4 state titles at Minnehaha. Part of that time he played with Jalen Suggs, who now plays the Orlando Magic. Orlando has the #1 pick, so there is a chance that Orlando could pick Chet #1. They could team up again. Last year's Nobel Peace Prize, the actual medal, was just auctioned off. And it was auctioned off for $103 million. It shattered the old record. It was a Russian journalist, Dmitry Muratov, auctioning off his medal, and he wasn't doing it for selfish reasons. He was doing it to raise money for Ukrainian children, refugees. He says he sure didn't expect to raise this much money. Previous record for a Nobel Prize was just under $5 million. So for it to go to 103, but certainly the cause is part of why that happened. He's a Nobel Prize winner. Do you need to keep the medal? If they would give you $103 million and you could donate that money to charity, hell yes, you would auction that medal off, right? I sure would. If anyone wants to pay me $103 million for one of my regional Emmys, I will donate every cent to charity. So let me know. Hit me up. Let's get back to the summertime. What are you looking forward to? What events this summer? You won't be looking forward to Red, White, and Boom. No fireworks on the 4th in Minneapolis. Don't worry, your neighbor who lives behind you is still going to be setting off that fireworks show in the backyard. Yeah, that probably starts in a week or so and doesn't stop. Let's see what you're saying. Here's Maggie. Irish Fair, yeah. Loves to see the vendors, musical acts, the Ancient Order of the Hibernians. Has the best root beer floats. That's a good tip. Thanks, Maggie. Here's Simon looking for the end of summer. Geez, Simon, it's the first day. The state fair is at the end of the summer. That is super fun. Thanks, Simon. Here's Pam. Oh, remember the milk carton boat races? Oh my gosh. We made back in the very early days of the morning show here with Jamie Yukas, Mike Augustinak, and Natalie Nias. I believe we made milk cartons, boats, for back in that time, the whole station was doing Going to the Lake. And on the morning show, we didn't have a budget for Going to the Lake, so we did a segment called Go to the Lake Calhoun. So dumb. Thanks, Pam. They still do those, I think, but it's not the same deal. Jackie, excited for the annual camping trip to Palmer's Gulch. Hoping it's not 300 degrees, though, in mid-July. Yeah, it's a risk you take. Very good. Thanks, everybody. You know what I'm looking forward to this summer? Sleeping in. That's my #1 thing I'm excited about this summer, and that starts next week for me. Glad to be with you on the Morning Update here on CBS News Minnesota. We are your only local streaming news source, and by default, that makes us the best. We're the best. You're the best. See you tomorrow.